As we all know, pumpkins can summon snow golems. These iron golems are our friendly allies in battle, but there's another way to do it. You can summon the pumpkin man to punches, and down goes a little zombie. Oh my, that's terrifying. But there's another type of pumpkin found in the wild. Just look how it smiles bright. Smash it, and you can summon the pumpkin count. Think he's not good enough for us? You can use mysterious items to summon the powerful lord himself. Hello everyone, I'm Little Cabinet. Today, I'm introducing a mod. Honestly, I wanted to save this for Halloween next month. That's famous for its chaotic seafood. To ride the wave of excitement, since I've been so diligent, could you spare a finger to help? Please hit that follow button. Let's support Little Cabinet in reaching 100,000 followers. The mod is broadly divided into 3 systems. Pumpkins, or rather, demons, zombies, skeletons, and little critters. There's so much content that we might not finish it all in one episode. First, let's take a look at the zombie family. The corrupted has attributes identical to regular zombies, but with 10 extra health points after you chop him down. Surprise, I can still fight, and I'll drop to pieces of rotten flesh. The skeleton behind him might have only 15 health, but he drops bones, and simultaneously produces rotten flesh and bones. Never seen such a feast. Also, the rotten flesh here can be cooked. It won't cause hunger. It just looks a bit unappetizing. The rotten flesh attack comes with a stinky debuff. At this point, you'll be surrounded by a swarm of flies. Occasionally, a big meal will appear. It has only 10 health points, but it talks a lot. Hey, dolphin, what did you do to deserve this? This feast won't fly away, as the creator decided to. Just elevate its hovering line. It looks like it's flying. Of course, for realism, they added a climbing feature, so be careful when building high up. It can also burrow into the corrupted and lay eggs to breed, transforming it into a blighted zombie. With its large, cute head, it has many little creatures making their homes on it. It's not very strong on its own, but when it dies, it drops a ton of goodies. Now, this time, it dropped an improved version of the meal. That's like a premium meal. With 20 health points, it comes with a health drain effect. Just looking at this icon is disgusting. It will forcibly keep your health at 8 stars. Even if you boost your life, you'll still be drained. It's gross. Afterward, it'll explode next to you. How disgusting. But you can jump into the water to remove this buff. I'm sorry, Lord of Terror, but you can't swim, so you'll need to look for the next creature. A unique blend of the Iron Gate zombie and the Iron Barrel zombie. Every hit reveals a peculiar buff. What does this mean? A sharp sword with 5 attack power will only take off 3 health points. Of course, if you add fire damage, or use a powerful axe, it can mostly be ignored. On the other hand, the Iron Barrel zombie deals significant damage. Sadly, it moves a bit slow. As we all know, in Minecraft, speed equals combat power. It's nothing to worry about. Next up, we have the Log Worker zombie. You can tell it's from Hunan. Think of it as a regular zombie with a bit more punch. But thanks to that axe, it can instantly break wooden planks. Even with durability 3, it only needs 3 hits. That's quite disgusting. It drops various types of wood. A free lumber factory. Those who can't chop trees are in for a treat. Similar to it is the barrel zombie, floating near the coast. Although it's in water, it can't swim. Even when it gets on land, it wobbles around. Defeating it will yield various loot. You might even strike gold with unexpected treasures. The fisherman zombie holds a hefty fish. Its tail even wags back and forth with each movement. It consistently drops random fish meat, and of course, some worms. Other than that, nothing too special. The clown zombie, isn't that my buddy? You can even see it perform an 8-1 animation. It spawns in the wild near wagon camps. When attacking, it forces us to drink, making us all drunk. You'll feel the effects of intoxication, with a slew of negative buffs attached. But if you don't want to forcefully defeat it, you can always drink the toxic wine it drops. The effects are the same. Let's take a peek at its silver coins. There are 2 zombie horses nearby. Too bad you can't ride them. Inside the cage, there's a big panda, but the adjacent cage is broken. It only leaves a pool of redstone dust and a skeleton. Looks like it was attacked by something. As for the RV, it mainly contains potion-related items. As you can see, this zombie looks quite silly. Its speed is surprisingly fast, but you can easily kite it if you know how to dodge. Getting hit by its big stick will leave you dizzy. Fortunately, the effect doesn't last long. It's strong, but not overwhelmingly so. Having wrapped up the zombie segment, let's check out its buddies, the skeleton family. Starting with the exploding skeleton. What's with the size difference here? There are many candles on the hill. Do you think it will explode? Actually, it just headbutts you. The damage is low, only when its health drops low. Will it drop the usual loot? You can even take it out before it explodes. Just be quick, otherwise, even if you defeat it, it will still explode. The striker skeleton, while being a skeleton, feels more like a combination of a sword zombie and the Iron Barrel zombie. It's equally tough. A single blow will take off just a few health points. Again, fire is the way to go. It'll still get dizzy from a hammer strike. In short, it's quite irritating. The connected skeleton is not very spirited while hitting small mobs. It moves quickly. You can slice them in half with a single blow, split them vertically, and watch them hop along with one leg each. But why is it still so fast while hopping? Their loot is remarkably impressive. And then there's the Skeleton Lord, oozing with a Mexican vibe. After all, this is the main world. Being in the overworld, the challenge level is relatively low. It's a straightforward encounter. Plus, it comes with a magical drain attack. It summons skeleton minions. These little skeletons are the cutest of the bunch. They have moderate strength, but if you can set it on fire, it won't summon any skeletons. Not sure why, but these magical creatures seem to fear fire. It has two relatives in the nether, the Skeleton Summoner, with 25 health points and some armor. It doesn't seem too formidable. The ranged attacks can be a bit annoying, especially since they sometimes miss. But as soon as you hit it, a horde of minions appears. What's really troublesome are these little skeletons. They can spawn naturally as well. Although their damage isn't high, they're quick. If you think that's just average, there's an upgraded version Elite Skeleton Summoner. It boasts high health and armor. More importantly, its summoned skeletons have a whopping 20 health points, stronger than your average zombie. So what if I try to take it down swiftly? How about I ambush it? Wait, what? With my netherite sword, I can only take off for health points. It must be that my skills aren't enough. Time to whip out my fully enchanted gold sword. Victory is finally within reach. Wait, what? It has a second life. With my fully enchanted netherite and gold swords, I can only deal 3 health points, and it summoned more minions. Now there are 3 of them. No worries, if brute force fails, I'll use some tactics. Plus, it has immunity to arrows, but if you can just defeat it in its first phase, the second phase can be tackled at your own pace. The 2 types of skeleton summoners I mentioned, they can spawn in the dark towers of the overworld. The difficulty of the Sun Tower is quite high. You might even find a dragon treasure. Its walls are made of obstructed blocks, which cause mining fatigue upon contact. And that's not all. There are plenty of treasures in its attic. How do you get up there? Well, I guess it's up to everyone to figure that out. These metallic items are incredibly useful. In this episode, I'll focus solely on items relevant to our topic. Let's start with the basics. Metallic keys are actually more powerful than diamond keys. With just a squeeze, they deal additional damage to the ender creatures. However, critical hits don't increase damage. The total is still 14. Even if you enchant it with Ender Slayer V, the damage only rises to 25, just 2 points more than a diamond sword. But let's not be too cheeky. Taking down a little zombie with 1 hit is still pretty satisfying. The Glaive and Iron Door zombies wield powerful weapons. They deal significant damage, but at least give them some room to breathe. It can get a bit boring. Then there's the Lumberjack Axe. With 10 damage, it just has a bit of a boost. The Poison Bomb is a weapon linked to zombie sales. First off, it's an explosive. Its damage is quite high, but here's the catch. It only affects a single target. It's said that the liquid it releases can contaminate a few blocks. These liquids will disappear after a while. However, if it hits its target, you won't need another type of bomb. Splitting bombs are considered controversial items. Their damage is secondary. They offer debuffs, speed and breakthrough, which are similar to the effects of the text leg. They can't even break stone instantly. If you find all this too intense, you can turn it into a jade dagger. As the name suggests, it's a gamble. With all these buffs, only the slowness and poison effects are useful. Among them, the poison buff still doesn't affect ender creatures. My take, it's somewhat intriguing, but it doesn't pack much punch compared to the heavy hitter's hammer. Its critical hits can cause stunning effects, and you don't need to wait to aim, just keep your distance. It's effective against slower, less agile creatures, but I know you're not just fooling around. Even those quick fish and agile mobs won't escape unscathed. The hits just keep coming. Blood magic is what the Skeleton Summoner uses. It requires soul energy to unleash its devastating strikes. The damage output is extremely high, and its firing rate is impressive. Using it feels really smooth. To bat, it lacks enchantments. It's only useful for early game skeleton fights. Right-clicking summons to little skeletons, granting you a 15-second buff of depleted mana. It's essentially a cooldown, but it can be removed. As for how ... there should be plenty of items to handle that. The little skeletons start with 20 health points. They deal for damage, which is decent. They only attack hostile mobs, ignoring anything that's not on their hit list. Wearing the Skeleton Lord's hat can enhance these skeletons. Health and armor are secondary. What matters most is that their damage doubles. In vanilla, that would be considered an elite mob. There's also the Cursed Explosion hat, the one that the self-destructing skeletons wear. If their health drops to low, they'll explode. It's a one-way ticket to oblivion, and once you wear it, you can't take it off. It's a real trap for the unwary. Now, some clever viewers might call it out, but can't I just use an Undying Totem instead? Something feels a bit off, doesn't it? Each self-detonation only consumes the hat. Just a tiny bit of durability lost. But that's just because it's blowing itself up. If you don't die, it just keeps exploding. Endlessly. Just right. The matriarch would fear your ex can't get it. The Undying Totem. There's also the Necromancer's Totem. It's quite similar to the Undying Totem. However, it greatly amplifies your gem potential. The buffs lean heavily towards offensive attributes, but they're often limited. As for the remaining content... we'll discuss that next time. So I am Zhao Guizi. Don't forget to follow us, and see you next time.